My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you. Coming to the after party tonight? Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
You're gonna hear about my party, they're gonna be shutting them down, they're gonna probably be arresting me.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody.
My God, the streets are on fire right now after it got reported that Diddy's adopted daughter turned on him. Get this, allegedly, Ava Barron, the young girl Diddy once introduced to the world as his adopted daughter, is allegedly preparing to take the stand in the bombshell trial that's already threatening to blow his entire empire apart. And let's be clear, this isn't just a dramatic detour, this could be the turning point. Sources close to the case are saying that Ava isn't just showing up to testify, she's allegedly armed with a mountain of receipts that could potentially implicate not just Diddy, but his sons, Justin and Christian Combs, in some deeply serious and as yet unconfirmed allegations. If true, this would mark a shocking escalation in a case already riddled with high-profile claims of trafficking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. You guys better grab your seats because this Diddy trial just took a dramatic turn no one saw coming.
They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Now, if you guys remember, back in 2020, Ava Barron entered the public eye in a bizarre and now heavily scrutinized Instagram Live, in which Diddy declared he had adopted her live, unscripted, and completely off the cuff. The moment felt odd then, but now, in light of what's unfolding, it's taking on a far darker turn. He described her as a girl he took in from the streets, gushed about giving her a black parent, and even instructed her on camera to tell the story of how she came into his life while his son Quincy Brown giggled in the background. At the time, it seemed like a chaotic publicity stunt, but now it's looking more and more like a calculated move with deep, disturbing undercurrents. Now Ava's name is back in the headlines, and this time she may be the key witness in a trial that could not only unravel Diddy's already fractured public image, but potentially drag the rest of the Combs family into the fire. What exactly Ava knows remains locked behind closed doors, but insiders are hinting at a combination of communications, video evidence, and insider knowledge that could devastate the defense's strategy. What was once glorified adoption story now looks like it may have been a smokescreen for something much more sinister. And if Ava steps into that courtroom, takes the oath, and starts naming names, especially her so-called adoptive father and his biological sons, this trial won't just be a media circus. Anyways, after that initial adoption announcement, Ava practically vanished from public view. Aside from a few appearances alongside Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, she was nowhere to be seen. No family photos, no birthday posts, no heartfelt captions, just gone. And with Diddy's legal troubles snowballing, fans started putting the pieces together and asking the uncomfortable question, was this adoption even real? Turns out they were onto something. You see, insiders began whispering that Ava's so-called adoption wasn't about kindness from Diddy at all. It was a strategic PR stunt cooked up during a time when Diddy's reputation was circling the drain. Reports now suggest he may have taken in Ava under the guise of being her savior, all to polish his image while. Sounds calculated, right? But it gets even darker. Gene Deal, one of Diddy's former close associates, dropped dropped a cryptic bombshell, hinting that the industry knows who Diddy really is. And spoiler alert, it's not the benevolent father figure he pretends to be in front of the camera. Now here's where the rabbit hole turns truly sinister. Insiders began making disturbing connections between Ava and a completely different child, a girl named Ava Grace Baldwin, who went missing in 2015. The resemblance? Uncanny. Online detectives dug into photos, timelines, and even Ava's sudden disappearance from the spotlight and started asking, was this the same girl? If true, it wouldn't just mean Diddy lied about adopting Ava, it would suggest she may have actually been taken. Let that sink in. Now add to that the fact that there were no legal adoption records ever filed. None. TMZ confirmed it. Despite Diddy's over-the-top live stream declaration that he gave Ava a black parent, official sources now back up what fans have been screaming for years. There was never a legal adoption, just smoke, mirrors, and a very unsettling Instagram performance. And let's not forget how weird that live was. Diddy kept coaching Ava on what to say, even telling her to clarify things when her story started sounding off. Creepy doesn't even cover it, but wait, it gets worse. According to word on the street, Diddy's own sons, Justin and Christian, might be entangled in this mess. Christian is already facing scrutiny for a shady yacht lawsuit involving some very questionable details. People are now asking, is this just a messy family, or are we looking at something far more sinister? Everything about this story, from the mysterious adoption to the whispered trafficking theories to the resurfacing of a missing child's identity, is now setting off alarm bells across the internet. Now, people are saying Ava is getting ready to testify, and the stuff she allegedly knows is extremely explosive. We're talking first-hand accounts of what really went down behind those mansion gates. Rumor has it she witnessed some seriously disturbing stuff, and now she's finally ready to talk. Let's start with Justin. He's already being dragged in a lawsuit filed by producer Lil Rod, who accused him of soliciting prostitutes and playing a role in Diddy's alleged underground network involving and exploitation. Yeah, it's that serious. And now people are speculating that Ava might have seen things that back up those claims. Insiders say she spent a lot of time around the Diddy estate and saw more than she ever should have. Then there's Christian. Remember that yacht story? A woman named Grace O'Marco accused him of assault while she was working as a stewardess on a luxury yacht rented by Diddy. And now it's coming out that Ava may have been around during that trip or heard details afterwards that could support Grace's version of events. So this isn't just a scandal, it's a full-on unraveling of the Combs family brand. And let's not forget how this all started. Now, the question on everyone's minds is, where were Ava's parents during all of this? Allegedly, Ava's real parents were reportedly close friends with Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter. So Diddy adopting Ava wasn't even some noble act of kindness. It was a setup, a skit, but the public didn't know that. Diddy made it look real. He compared himself to Madonna and Sandra Bullock like he was joining the celebrity adoption club, but Ava was never his child. She was never legally tied to him. She was just there, and now she might be the one to bring it all crashing down. Behind the scenes, Ava's breaking her silence, and what she's saying in private allegedly is sending shockwaves through Hollywood. She's talking about parties, events, and behind closed doors moments that don't line up with the polished image Diddy and his circle have tried to maintain. And then came the name no one expected. Ashton Kutcher came up. That's right, Ava's allegedly named him in connection with these parties. The same Ashton who's built his brand around protecting children and fighting trafficking. His name has now been tied to multiple guest lists through Ava's testimony, and that's not all. This is where the so-called doomsday file comes in. You know, that rumored stash of evidence people have whispered about for years, the one supposedly filled with receipts, footage, guest lists, messages, everything. It's allegedly real, and Ava might be holding the key to it. So now, the trial isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about how many big names are about to fall with him. Ava Berry was once presented as a rescued child, a feel-good story for the cameras. But now, she might be the one exposing one of Hollywood's darkest secrets. evidence. And if what she says in court matches what she's been telling investigators privately, we're not just talking scandal, we're talking collapse. And just like that, all eyes are now locked onto Ava Barron, the girl who once stood awkwardly by Diddy's side during that now infamous Instagram live is suddenly the most important person in the courtroom. As the trial drags out every skeleton in the Combs family's closet, people everywhere are asking the same question. What is Ava going to say when she finally takes the stand? Because let's be honest, her testimony could change everything. The allegations against Diddy and his sons aren't just messy, they're deeply disturbing. We're talking about trafficking, operations, witness intimidation, and assault claims tied to yachts, parties, and secret recordings. And Ava, she was right there, behind closed doors, living inside the chaos. She saw it, she felt it, and now she might speak it. The way Diddy tried to pass off her adoption as this spontaneous, heartfelt rescue just doesn't hold up anymore. The paperwork doesn't exist, the timelines don't match, and Ava's sudden disappearance from his public life only raises more questions. Was she silenced? Was she used? And what exactly did she endure while being paraded around as Papa Combs' daughter? Now, with talk of high-powered names like Ashton Kutcher appearing on party guest lists and whispers of Ava handing over information tied to the legendary Doomsday File, the entertainment world is shaking. If Ava really has the details people think she does on what she saw, who she was around, and how deep this network of exploitation goes, it could trigger a ripple effect Hollywood is absolutely not ready for. And let's be real, this isn't just about Diddy anymore. This is about the system that lets powerful people use their wealth and fame to hide behind a facade, while vulnerable children like Ava are caught in the middle. It's about celebrity adoptions that are more about optics than care. It's about who's protecting who and who's finally speaking out. So as we wait to hear Ava's truth in court, the world is holding its breath, because what she reveals might not only blow the case wide open, it might drag an entire corner of the industry into the light. What do you think Ava will expose? Could this be the moment that finally brings down the empire? Drop your thoughts below, because something tells us this story is far from over. And don't forget to check out our other videos for even more shocking revelations. Till next time, bye.